Alright, we are solving quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. And what is the quadratic formula? Well, so that we remember, you are in luck because we have a song that will help us remember. Let's get our starting pitch. We'll start right about, let's say here. Or here if you want. Ready? We have x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we have a little tune to remember the quadratic formula, which is x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Again, that great song, la 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 la. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, feel free to sing it along. Heck, if you can recruit your friends to sing a video of it with you, if you and your friends can sing a video of it with you. Now, friends meaning not classmates in Algebra 1. So it can be a family member, it can be a brother, sister, mom, aunt, uncle, dad, grandma, grandpa, cousins, or we can have friends not in my Algebra 1 class. So anyone besides a student of mine in Algebra 1. If you get a video of them singing that quadratic formula song with you and you email it to me by, let's say, Monday. If you email it to me by Monday, I can give you 5 extra credit points. 5 extra credit points for quarter 4. So again, that song, sing it with me. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And I'll sing that again periodically throughout the video as well. So let's use it. We have 2x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals 0. So remember, if we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 as our standard form, we're going to plug in, so we know that x will equal the opposite of b, so b is negative 2, so we'll have 2 plus or minus the square root of b squared. B squared, b is negative 2, so negative 2 squared gives us 4, minus 4ac, so 4 times 2 times negative 5, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 2. So let's take a look, and we have here, let's see, we can simplify 2 plus or minus the square root of 4. Let's see, negative 4 times 2, that's negative 8, times that is plus 40 over 4. So we have, let's see, 2 plus or minus the square root of 44 over 4. And if we take 44, we can say 44 is 4 times 11, and 4 is 2 and 2. So really we have, I'm going to jump over here just for some more room. We have 2 plus or minus the 2 square root of 11 over 4, which we can divide everything there by 4, and we have 1 plus or minus the square root of 11, all divided by 2. So x equals 1 plus or minus the square root of 11 divided by 2. And that is our answer to this equation. That's what x equals there. Yeah, it looks kind of abstract, doesn't it? So if we look at this next example, 3x squared minus 5x equals 12. If we look here, we have 3x squared minus 5x equals 12. We might want to rearrange it. 3x squared minus 5x minus 12 equals 0. And now using the quadratic formula, we have x equals the opposite of b, and b is negative 5, so it becomes 5 plus or minus the square root of b squared, and b is negative 5, so b squared is 25. B squared minus 4a, which is 3, c, which is negative 12, all over 2a, and a is 3. That little extended version of the song there. So we have now, when we start simplifying, x equals 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus 4 times 3, that's minus 12, times positive 12, that's plus 144, all over 6. So we have x equals 5 plus or minus the square root 25 plus 124. Looks like we have 169 over 6. And it turns out that 169 is 13, the square root of 169. So we have 5 plus or minus 13 over 6. Now, we need to simplify this. So we take one that's 5 plus 13. 5 plus 13, we get 18 divided by 6, which is 3. And 5 minus 13, 5 minus 13, we get that x equals negative 8 over 6, which turns out to be negative 4/3. So there are our two answers, that x equals 3 and x equals negative 4/3. So let us continue on to our practice, which is on page 1363, numbers 16 through 27. And remember, using the quadratic formula, which one more time is x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we're going to use that to solve 4x squared plus 5x minus 6 equals 0. Again, it's super important that we have everything set equal to 0. I should have mentioned that earlier, but we need to have everything set equal to 0 in this order, in standard form, for it to work. So let's see, we have x equals the opposite of b. The opposite of b is negative 5 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 25, minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c, which is negative 6, all over 2a, so 2 times 4. So we're going to have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus, let's see, minus 4 times 4, which is minus 16. 16 times 6, we have 96, but this is plus 96, all over 8. 25 plus 96, we get 121, so we get negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 121 over 8, and the square root of 121 turns out to be 11, so we have negative 5 plus or minus 11 over 8, and that brings then that we have two options. We have one, negative 5 plus 11. Negative 5 plus 11 gives us 6/8, also known as 3/4. Also, we get that x equals negative 5 minus 11, or negative 16/8, also known as negative 2. Alright, there are two solutions. Remember that we need two solutions. And one last time, for old time's sake, we have our song for our quadratic formula. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Have fun.